let's get started today on our backs. I think, well, we usually do that. We're going to get started on our backs again.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice way to start class. Just kind of easy, gentle. And feel free to find whatever pose works for you, but if you would like, you can go ahead and plant your feet wide to the edges of your mat and then allow your knees to knock together for fallen bridge. And then if you'd like, you can place your hands maybe on your belly or one on your chest. Allow your eyes to fall heavy or closed and allow yourself to settle in. Allow yourself to let go of whatever you had going on before you came to your mat today. And just start to bring your awareness to your belly underneath your hands. Notice it expanding and falling with each breath. Your breath doesn't necessarily need to change, but just be aware of it. Maybe you notice the temperature of the air in the room, on your skin, or as it enters your nose. And with every exhale, as your belly falls, let go a little bit more. Find some more softness somewhere in your body. Unclench your jaw. Release your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Now together, let's take a nice long inhale through the nose. Fill up through your belly, through your chest, through your throat. And then open mouth exhale, let it go. Nice, let's do that again. Take a big breath in, feel your belly, your rib cage expand. And let it go. Now just start to slowly rock your knees side to side, keeping your feet wide. Take your time. If you'd like, you can also rock your head side to side. And then draw your knees back together. Keeping them touching, toe heel your feet just a bit closer together now, so maybe about hip width distance apart, toes face forward. And then kick your right heel towards the ceiling. Start to point and flex your foot. And roll out your ankle in each direction. And then take your arms alongside your torso. If they're not there already, gently press down into your palms. As you breathe in, see if you can bring your heel just a little bit closer towards the ceiling. Now, as you exhale, send your right leg long towards the front of the room. Get it as close as you can to the mat without it actually touching. Maybe an inch or two away from the floor. And just hold it there as you continue to press your foot away from you. So leg is straight. Inhale, slowly drag your ankle back over your hip where you started. Exhale, take your leg down to that hovering point again. Let's do this one more time. So inhale, draw your leg back over your hip, kicking it towards the ceiling, and exhale, extend long towards the front of the room. Inhale, kick your heel towards the ceiling, back where we started. Exhale, bend your knee, and now you're going to thread your right foot underneath your left leg. Now relax your entire right leg all the way to the mat. Everything is heavy here. You should feel a gentle stretch in the front of the right hip. Maybe the front of the right thigh. Take one more breath where you are. And then as you exhale, unthread your leg and replant your right foot down on the mat back to where we started. If you'd like, before we do the other side, you can gently press into the heels, hover the hips away from the mat, tuck your tailbone, and then release your spine to the floor again. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So first, just kick your left heel towards the ceiling. Point and flex your foot, roll out your ankle. And then come to stillness, flex your toes, press your heel a little closer to the ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, send your left leg away from you, take it down to that hovering point, maybe an inch or two away from the ground as you kick your heel forward. Inhale, slowly drag your foot back up over your hip. And then exhale, send it long. One more time, inhale, leg comes all the way up. And exhale, send it long, find your hovering point. Now inhale, drag your left leg back up over your hip. Exhale, bend the left knee, thread your left foot underneath your right leg this time, and relax your entire leg to the ground. Allow everything to soften. One more breath here. Exhale, unthread your foot, replant your left foot down on the mat, and then draw both knees in. Take your hands to your shins, give your legs a little squeeze, and take a few rocks side to side. Now, keeping your knees bent, you can release your shins and gently roll onto your right side in a fetal pose. Then prop yourself up onto your right forearm. Stack your shoulder right over your elbow. Yeah. And then you're going to take the top ankle, which should be the left ankle, and figure 4 it over the bottom thigh, which is the right thigh. If you have trouble planting your foot, bring your bottom leg further out away from you, if that makes sense. Then take your left hand to the inside of your left thigh. Start to press your knee away from you. And then start to twist and rotate your torso down to face your right forearm. Keep your hand exactly where it is on your thigh, but on your next inhale, just start to soften into your left elbow and turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, press on your thigh again, twist and rotate towards the mat. One more time, inhale, soften the elbow, lift the gaze. Exhale, press, twist. Perfect. Now, take your hand away from your thigh. We're gonna uncross the figure 4 shape in our legs and just swap it out. So now the bottom ankle is gonna figure 4 over the top thigh, just above the knee. Kick your left foot towards your booty, grab for your ankle, and then bring your legs closer to the mat first, and then start to kick your foot into your hand, start to arch into your back. If you'd like, you can even take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then release. Uncross your legs again and flip over to your left side. Stack your shoulder over your elbow again, forearm perpendicular to the mat. And we'll take the bottom ankle, which is now the left ankle, and figure four it over the right thigh. Oh wait, I'm sorry, uncross that. We do the other one first. So now right ankle, figure fours over the bottom thigh, excuse me. Take your right hand to the inside of your right thigh, press your knee away from you, twist and rotate your torso down towards the mat. Now with your hand on your thigh as you breathe in, soften into your elbow, start to turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, press on your thigh, twist and rotate down towards the mat again. Inhale, soften the elbow, lift the gaze. And exhale, press and twist. All right, now take your hand away from your thigh, uncross your figure four, and now bottom ankle will figure four over the top thigh. Kick your right foot towards your booty, grab for your ankle, draw your legs closer to the mat first, then kick your foot into your hand, arch into your back a little, maybe lift your gaze. Nice, release, uncross your legs, and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. You can cross your ankles or just place one in front of the other. If you need to, you can also sit on a block or a pillow or a folded blanket if you feel you need to elevate your hips a bit. But take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and take your right hand by your lower back. Come up onto your fingertips so you're not actually leaning weight into your backhand. Take an inhale as you sit up nice and tall. Lift the crown of your head towards the ceiling so back of the neck is long. Exhale, seated twist. Just press on your thigh, twist and rotate to the right as much as you can while still relaxing your knees towards the mat. Stay for one more inhale, puff up through your chest. And then use your exhale to see if you can twist just a little deeper. Nice, release and switch it out. So now right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left fingertips right by the low spine, nice and light on the back hand. Take a big breath in as you sit up nice and tall first, and then exhale to twist. Breathe in to sit up taller. And exhale, twist deeper. Nice, release, face forward. And now bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees butterfly. Feet can be as close or as far away from your body as you'd like. Wrap your hands around the tops of your feet. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. And then without rounding, just start to bend your elbows and pull yourself forward, folding from the hip crease. And if you don't go that far, that's okay. But we want to maintain a flat spine so that you're almost just folding yourself in half from the hips. Head stays in line with the rest of the spine. If your elbows reach your shins, you can gently press them down into the legs. Take one more breath where you are. Exhale, start to round and let your head drop. Now take your fingertips to the mat in front of you. Walk them forward as far as you can. And just hang heavy for a moment. Maybe shake out your head or sway a little. Walk your hands back towards you and breathe in as you sit up. Exhale, take your right hand just off to the side. Inhale, reach the left arm nice and high. Square your chest and shoulders to the front of the room. And then as you exhale, take a gentle side stretch over to the right. Gaze can slightly lift if you'd like. Now inhale, come up to center. Exhale, left hand off to the side. Inhale, reach the right arm high. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, one more time, right hand off to the side. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, side stretch to the right one more time. And if you would like to stay here and just focus on getting a deeper side stretch, that is cool. If you feel you would like to go further, you can push into your right hand and pop onto the right shin. Start to open your chest towards the ceiling. Reach your fingertips towards the back wall. Press your knees out wider. Now, if you lifted very slowly, draw your hips back to the mat. Come up to center and take your left hand off to the side. Inhale, right arm reaches. And exhale, side stretch to the left. And again, perfectly fine to just stay as you are. Or press into the left palm, pop onto the left shin, open your chest towards the ceiling, reach the right fingertips towards the back wall. Squeeze the soles of your feet together to keep your knees wide. And then with control, gently bring your hips back to the mat. Go ahead and cross your ankles. If you can, roll forward onto your hands and knees, or just get there some other way into your tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists and then your hips right over your knees. And then look back. Make sure that your shins are parallel, toes are pointed straight back. And then inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your gaze, draw your chest towards the front of the room. Exhale, cat pose. Push away from the floor. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale again, cow pose. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, cat, push and round. Now start to move through your own rhythm of cat-cows, moving with your own breath. And I invite you here to close your eyes and start to add other little movements that just feel intuitive. You can wiggle your hips, bend the elbows, circle the hips, whatever feels good. There's not really a wrong way to do this, as long as you're moving with your breath with intention. Couple more rounds of breath on your own. And on your next exhale, just slowly make your way back to your tabletop pose, shoulders back over the wrists. Inhale, reach your left arm high towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up, take a few wrist circles. Then on your next exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Left arm slides underneath the right, left cheek to the mat. We want to keep the hips stacked right over the knees instead of them coming back like in child's pose. Option to reach your right arm forward. Option to take your right hand to your lower back. But the stretch that we're focusing on here is in the left upper back shoulder area. So notice if you took a variation and it actually took away from that stretch in your shoulder, in your upper back. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale, right palm back to the mat underneath your shoulder. Push into your palm. And then inhale, reach the left arm high again. Exhale, tabletop pose. Give your hips a little wiggle, reset. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So first come back to stillness, and then inhale, reach your right arm high, gaze up, take a couple wrist circles in each direction. And then exhale, right arm threads underneath the left, right cheek to the mat. Shins stay parallel. And just take whatever variation you found on the opposite side to even things out. We'll take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, take your left palm back to the mat, push into it, and inhale, reach your right arm high, nice and tall. Exhale, tabletop pose. You can wiggle the hips, find a couple more cat-cows, whatever you need. Then we're going to come to sit either on the heels or on a block if that's more comfortable for you. So bring your toes together, sit back, stack your shoulders over your hips. You might need 2 blocks just depending on your mobility, whatever works for you. But inhale, reach your arms nice and tall for the ceiling, biceps in line with the ears. Exhale, bring your palms together to touch. Interlace your fingers together and then cradle your head and neck right where they meet. Now, press your elbows out wide out of your peripheral vision and then create just a little bit of resistance here so that you're pushing your head into your hands and then also pushing your hands back into your head. It doesn't need to be super hard, but just create a tiny bit of resistance here without wrinkling the back of your neck. Start to lift your chest and lift your gaze into a slight back bend. Keep pushing the elbows out wide. Maybe even draw the shoulder blades in towards one another. Breathe in. Exhale, round and curl. Draw the elbows in towards one another. As you curl into a tiny little ball. Now you can stay mostly upright, but if you'd like, maybe you come all the way down and the elbows connect with the knees. Slowly stack vertebra back on top of vertebra and peel the elbows out wide. Come back to your back bend as you breathe in. Exhale, round and curl to the point that feels good for you. Slowly roll it back up with control. Inhale, elbows wide, tiny back bend. And exhale, round and curl. Perfect. Slowly roll up and just release your hands. Maybe circle the wrists a couple more times if you'd like. Now we'll widen the knees and just come to child's pose for a couple of breaths. Stretch your fingertips out in front of you. Bring your forehead to the mat or to a block if that works better for you. If you'd like a different child's pose variation, you can bring your arms alongside your torso. You can also try flipping your palms to face the ceiling. Feel free to rock your head side to side a few times. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. If they're not there already, reach your fingertips forward again. Inhale, come forward back to your tabletop pose. This time start to curl your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Send them back. Find a little movement here. Yeah. Lift your hips a bit higher. And then start to find some stillness in your inverted V shape. Now, Hover your right foot about an inch away from where it is on the mat. Spread your right toes, and then hook your big and second toe on your left Achilles tendon. Then try to press your left heel a bit closer to the mat while still pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Perfect. Go ahead and release and switch it out. So hover the left foot, spread the toes, hook your big and second toe on your right Achilles tendon, and press your right heel a bit closer to the mat. And release. As you breathe in, gaze between your hands. Then as you exhale, walk or step all the way up to the top of your mat. Take your feet nice and wide. Hang heavy. Soften into your knees. Maybe grab opposite elbows and sway. Release your fingertips to the mat. Walk your hands over to frame your right foot. Bend your right knee and rounding curl. Maybe your nose touches your knee. Then walk your fingertips over to frame your left foot. Same thing, bend the left knee, round and curl. Perfect. Walk your hands back to center. Toe heel your feet about hip width distance apart, toes face forward. Then grab hold of your ankles and slowly walk your hands up your legs until you're standing all the way up. Once you're upright, roll your shoulders up and back a few times. Find a few head and neck circles. In each direction. Bring your head back up to center. Check that your legs are parallel. Feet are right underneath the hips. Now this is optional if you would like. You can grab a block if you have it and squeeze it between the thighs. And now what we're doing here is just helping us to engage the legs a little bit more by focusing on squeezing on the block. But again, it's optional. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Spread your toes, press down into your feet, and again, start to actively squeeze onto the block. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your arms nice and tall for the ceiling. Frame your ears with your biceps as you continue to focus on your block between your legs. Take another inhale. Exhale, open twist to the right. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Now, another way that I like to use the block is if you look down at your block, it will be very obvious if your hips twisted with you, the block will also have twisted with you. So take your right hand to your lower back if that's the case. Nudge the right hip forward so block stays facing the front of the room. Then take your gaze back to the right side of the room and actively focus on stretching your left fingertips forward a bit more. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your arms nice and tall again. Come through center. And then exhale, open twist to the left. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Look at your block or your hips. Adjust as needed. So we're focusing on pressing the hips forward and then twisting just the upper body to the left. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach up nice and tall. Exhale, baby back bend. Cactus the elbows. Lift the gaze. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Again, keep squeezing the block as you come into your back bend. Inhale, reach back up to center. Mountain pose. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Fold forward, fingertips to the mat. Let your head drop. You can take the block and just place it off to the side. Pedal the knees a couple times. When you're ready, bend your knees enough to plant your palms flat on the mat and just walk your feet back to your downward facing dog. Take a nice long breath in and let it out. Now inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, step to the outside of the right hand. Stay off your back knee for a moment. And I want you to find more space between your feet. So we're going to wiggle the left foot back or wiggle the right foot forward some more. Lengthen the crown of the head forward. And just for a few breaths, rock back and forth on your back foot or side to side or up and down in any direction that feels good. If you feel like you're having trouble finding a lot of movement, blocks under the hands can be useful here, but just find some movement. Then when you're ready, slowly come down onto the left knee, untuck the left toes. We'll settle in lizard pose for a few breaths. Now, whatever version of lizard you're in, you're welcome to stay there. If you'd like a little hip opener, take your right hand to the top of your right thigh and just start to guide your hip open. Roll to the pinky toe edge of your right foot, gaze off to the side a bit. Gently rotate to face forward again. Replant your foot, replant your hand. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists. Take an inhale and curl your back toes under. Exhale, squeeze up off your back knee. Shift weight into your left palm. Inhale, lunge twist. Reach your right arm nice and high. Open up the chest. Exhale, cross your right arm underneath your left. Crawl to the middle of your mat for wide-legged forward fold. Toes turn slightly in. And then hinge from the hips. Now take your right hand underneath your face on the floor. Take your left hand to your lower back. And then without allowing the left hip to pop up, take a gentle twist to the left. Find some lightness through your bottom fingertips. On an exhale, release, switch it out. Left fingertips underneath the face, right hand to the lower back. Little twist to the right now. On an exhale, release. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, breathe in and lengthen the crown of your head towards the side wall. Exhale, bend the right knee, turn your right toes forward, crawl to a lunge at the top of your mat, framing your foot with your hands. Press into your palms and then sweep the right leg back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Now inhale your left leg high. Exhale, step to the outside of your left hand. And again, first, just try to bring some more space between your feet. So wiggle the left foot forward more if you can, or wiggle the right foot back more if you're able to. And find some movement. Rock on your back foot, on your toes. Maybe shift up and down, side to side. Just getting into any little areas of the legs and hips that you're able to. When you're ready, you can soften onto the right knee and tuck the right toes and come into your lizard pose on this side. If you want to find a hip opener here as well, you can take your left hand to the top of your left thigh and roll to the pinky toe edge of your foot. Carefully rotate forward again, replant both hands underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in and tuck your back toes. Exhale, squeeze up off your back knee and shift weight into your right hand. Inhale, lunge twist. Reach your left arm high, gaze up. Exhale, cross the left arm underneath the right. Crawl to the middle of your mat again, wide-legged fold. Toes turn in. Now this time, if you want, keeping your feet as they are, you can start to walk your hands forward and come into hammock pose, which is essentially like down dog with wide legs. So just like in our down dog, we want to push the chest towards the thighs, find a flat spine, and find an inverted V shape in our bodies. So very little weight into the hands. Walk your hands back under your shoulders. Take a breath in. Find a flat spine. Lengthen the crown of the head towards the side wall. Exhale, bend the left knee. Turn the left toes forward and crawl to a lunge at the top of your mat, framing your foot with your hands. Now this time, we'll do something just a little bit different. Push into your hands, and we'll step the left foot back to meet the right in a high plank pose. You can bring your feet about hip-width distance apart. Bring your shoulders right over your wrists. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Just hold and breathe for a moment. Just a little core challenge. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift the hips back. Nice job. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon on the right, bend the right knee. Take your right knee towards your right wrist, towards the outside of your mat. And then slide down to the left knee and tuck your left toes. Bring your weight even between both legs. And then if you want to fold over your right leg, go for it. If you lowered, start to press back up to your palms. Shift your weight over to your right thigh and then bend your left knee until it comes all the way up to your foot. So legs are pinwheeled, face forward. I don't remember if I've done this with you guys before, but we're just gonna do a little hip mobility exercise. You can use your hands for it as much as you need to. You can also use blocks under your hands if you need to. So feel free to do whatever you need to do this movement essentially. So all we're gonna do, actually let me face this way so that you can see my leg. All right, so legs are in this pinwheel shape, right? We're just gonna face forward. Just shift a little bit of weight forward into the front leg and then bring your back leg parallel to the floor. So again, if you need to push into the hands in order to make that happen, that's okay. But back leg is parallel to the floor, the whole leg. You're gonna press your knee away from you, squeeze right here in the outer glutes, yep. And then on an exhale, you're gonna kick your left leg forward, flex your toes and sit up tall. So again, if you need your hands here, that's fine, but we're using the hip flexor, the core muscles to bring the leg up. So inhale, bend your knee, squeeze your glutes, find this like little scorpion shape as you lean forward. Exhale, kick the left leg forward, flex the toes. Nice. Again, inhale, bend, squeeze, and exhale, kick your leg forward, flex your foot. Nice. All right, bring your left leg to the mat. Bring your right foot to your inner thigh or calf. I'm just gonna face forward again. Good job. All right, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Grab for your foot or your ankle or your calf, whatever you need. Inhale, roll up to a seat. Exhale, bend both knees. Swing your feet over to one side, come to tabletop pose. And then find your downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon left side, bend the left knee, take it out to the left side of your mat by your wrist. Slide down to the right knee, untuck the right toes. If and when you're ready, you can fold forward or just stay exactly where you are. When I was a kid, that was my favorite. If you lowered, start to come back up. We're gonna shift our weight all the way over to the left and just bend the right knee till it meets the foot. And again, we'll face forward. Use your hands as much as you need. So now we're just gonna shift a little weight forward into the front leg, right leg, parallel to the floor. Inhale, press your knee towards the back wall, squeeze right here. And then exhale, kick the right leg forward, flex your foot. Try to sit up as tall as you can. Inhale, bend the right knee, squeeze the glutes, the outer hips. And then exhale, kick the right leg forward, flex the toes. One more time. Inhale, bend your knees, squeeze. Exhale, Kick your leg forward. Nice. All right, release your right leg to the mat. Left foot to the inner thigh or calf. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sit all the way up. Take your hands behind you on the mat, bend your knees, plant your feet wide, like to the outside of your mat, and then windshield wiper your knees slowly. Bring your knees to center, maybe scooch down a smidge and come onto your back. Once you are on your back, hug your knees in. Give yourself a hug and maybe a couple rocks. And then when you're ready, reach through your legs, grab the outsides of your feet. Find happy baby pose. Thighs are nice and wide, feet parallel to the ceiling. You can also grab the backs of the thighs if that's more accessible. But find some movement, some gentle rocking side to side. Then release your feet. Plant them on the mat by your hips for a moment. Take your arms out wide into a T or a cactus shape. Cross your left leg over your right leg. And then on an exhale, let your knees fall to the right. Gaze to the left. Slowly draw your legs back to center. Replant your feet. Cross the right leg over the left leg. Let your knees fall to the left. Gaze to the right. And just a heads up, if anybody does need to leave early, that's totally fine, but I would recommend leaving now instead of in the middle of Shavasana. That would be super great. On your next breath in, draw your knees back to center. Wrap your arms around your shins, curl yourself into a tiny little ball, bringing your nose up towards your knees. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then as you exhale, let everything go. Spread out on your mat. Come into your final resting posture. Take up space. If you have something to place over your eyes, maybe grab that. Allow yourself to settle. to find stillness and just allow yourself these next few minutes to fully absorb your practice. Start to scan your body, starting from your toes, working up to the crown of your head, checking in with each joint, each muscle, noticing, is there anything you are still clenching, holding tightly? Where can you let go? And remind yourself that for the next few minutes, you have nowhere else to be. This is your time. Breathe in. Exhale. Shavasana. rush to leave this space just yet. If you'd like some more time to reset. If you are ready to move on with your weekend, start by deepening your breath. Start by breathing awareness back to your body. Finding some small movements in your fingers, in your toes. Rock your head side to side. And then take your arms overhead and come into a full body stretch. And as you breathe in, kick your heels forward, reach your fingertips towards the back wall. As you breathe out, bend your knees and gently roll to one side in a fetal pose, using your arm as a pillow. Maybe the other hand you place somewhere you'd like to receive a little bit more love in this moment. Notice the differences you feel in your body compared to when you stepped into the room. And then with your eyes heavy or closed, gently press to a comfortable seat. Sit up tall on your mat. Take your hands to heart center. Bow your head down at your heart, thanking yourself for taking the time out of your day just for you, nobody else. Thank your body for being strong enough to carry you through this practice. And then lift your head and bring your thumbs to third eye center, the space between your eyebrows. The light, the teacher, the student in me honors and loves the light, the student, the teacher in all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today.